Alright guys, and since I did the review for Moon Knight Volume 1, I really wanted to follow up with Moon Knight Volume 2, which is the direct sequel, the direct issues right after the first volume, and it even contains another start of a run that only lasted 6 issues, and we'll get to what happened there. But I really want to get into this because this is relatively new. It just came out maybe about a month ago, and with everything you want to know if the follow-up is as good as the original, well, let's see if this is better or worse than the first volume of Moon Knight. Okay, so if you haven't seen my Volume 1 review, go check it out. Sorry about the quality is as good as this one because I didn't film it in, I don't know, 60 frames for some reason on my phone, but this one obviously looks better, I believe, anyway. I hope so. I haven't edited it yet, but we're going to get deep into this book, and as you can see, this is a lot of the same team that made Volume 1 great, which to me is very good news. Now, I will say, as I'm flipping through here, the beginning of this series is a lot more supernatural than I expected. Now, we did get some supernatural stuff in Volume 1, but there's a couple of issues that were really supernatural, and also I noticed that Moon Knight is cracking a lot more jokes in this volume, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with some tone changing if we balance it, which Doug and Bill do very well in terms of both the storytelling and the art. We get that fun, charismatic, adventure-filled feel, and then we also get the dark and grit in parts. So as we open, it is definitely more lighthearted at points and more cracking jokes, but it still has that grit. But I have to talk about two of my favorite issues that I'm showcasing here. One is about a person who wants revenge on the mob, or somebody who hurt her. I'm trying to skirt by spoilers, but basically she becomes a vigilante of her own in a way. And Moon Knight is really having issues stopping her because he understands where she's coming from. And this has to be one of my favorite issues. One, because of the pacing. It is just crazy from the get-go. We get a murder within like a page, and then you got to read what's happening. So it's basically like a chase, a cat and mouse game almost, of Moon Knight trying to stop her, but also not wanting to. That really makes a really good storytelling for me. And also the art is just on point this issue with some great fight scenes. So this is one of my favorite issues in the series. But we also get another great storyline I really want to talk about with kids that are just kind of poor and bummy in a way, I guess I could say, and they're just not doing well. And they basically go around their neighborhood threatening the people who run stores and saying, we'll protect you if you give you money. So very mobster mentality. But these are kids. I'd say they're like 15 to 18. And something goes wrong, obviously, and one of these kids isn't all that bad, and Moon Knight tries to kind of sway him to the good side, but something horrible happens, and Moon Knight just loses his shit. And I really like this story because it's not just Moon Knight comes and fixes everything. It actually has a really somber ending, and Moon Knight realizes maybe I am not the key or the answer to every problem. Maybe my violence just begets more violence, and I really love this issue. It was dark, but it also was telling a story with great themes. The art is fantastic with some brutal fight scenes. This is probably my favorite issue in the entire omnibus, and for that alone, this omnibus obviously rose up for me about midway, and all the other stories in between were great as well, but these two really hit me. Now, there is, unfortunately, a writer change and an artist change, and the new writer, I am so sorry for guys, I think it's Alan is his first name. He comes on, and I gotta say, I wasn't all that impressed after that. He did do an origin story for Moon Knight, kind of redoing his childhood, and that was pretty good. But then we get like kind of a reboot, the Fist of Khonshu, and this is a pretty shitty series, if I'm being honest. It is just really meh. I'm sorry, I'll take it back. It's not shitty, it's meh. And that's the bigger problem, is, like, if it's shitty and bad, I can make fun of it. This isn't bad. It's just much weaker than all the previous works before it. The writer on it is kind of the guy who came in at the end of the original run, and he did just kind of do okay there. He did a pretty cool origin story, but the stories in Fist of Khonshu are pretty cheesy. It's not that it's dull. It has fun moments, but it just doesn't have that grit. It doesn't have that heavy feel until the last issue, which is better than the rest of the series. But yeah, I just couldn't get into it. Also, Moon Knight's design in this run is absolutely horrendous. Like, I just wanted to, like, just not read it because of this ugly fucking design. But, you know, I let that pass if the story was good. The story's not that great. And then the Omnibus finishes up with a couple of, like, team-up issues and fanfare and stuff like that. So, is Moon Knight Volume 2 as good as Volume 1? I'm gonna be honest, it isn't. Volume 1 has some of the greatest Moon Knight stories, if not my favorite of all time. And of course, there's some bad with good in every omnibus, but this one, I felt like it had a strong beginning, a really good middle, like some of the best, and then we went downhill, just treading down until we got to Fist of Khonshu, which I don't even know if I'd give higher than like a 2, maybe a 2.5. So it really bummed me out that those 6 issues, which felt longer than they should have been, really took this omnibus down. Saying that, you still get like 500, 600 pages of greatness, or good at least. So it's not all bad. I just don't think it's a 4 out of 5 like I'd give the first omnibus, but I still give it like a 3 to a 3.5. Should you pick it up? That's the question. You're watching this. Hey, should I spend money? I'd say if you can get it on sale, which most places you can get, you know, 40% off. Yeah, but only if you get it on sale. This one is definitely not worth the full price in my opinion. But if you can get it on sale, like 40% off, definitely worth checking out if you like Volume 1. Again, I think the Fist of Khonshu is shit. Is meh. I keep saying shit because I think it really irritated me, the downgrade from the other story. But the main story is still great, so check those out. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about the Omnibus, you know, just throw them down below. I'd be glad to answer. And let me know if you're going to pick this up, or let me know if you read this and you're like, you're crazy. This is much better than Volume 1. I'd love to hear that. Everybody else, I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.